How similar are these clips? What? Didn't notice? And I'm not talking about the character design, the weather, or the setting. I'm talking about the emotions. Romance is an elevated emotional way of seeing the world, shaped by ideas, feelings, and emotions, and the circumstances of the life itself. But what does that actually mean? Let's find out. This question had been singing in the back of my mind for a long time, and as a true fan of 12-episode romance anime, I never really stopped to ask myself, why are romance stories so popular? And I started thinking about it like a week or two ago, and my heart found an answer almost instantly. But how do you explain something like that with logic? So today, we're diving into a world of romance, love, and passion. And together, we'll try to answer a simple question: what does romance exactly mean to me? If you explore the internet, you'll find endless amounts of content to consume. Yet, among all of it, there will always be something special about those simple love stories. Stories about an ordinary guy who stands out in no particular way, someone just like everyone else, who, through a series of events, eventually finds love.
I really like you.
At first glance, there's nothing remarkable about it. You watch it and move on, but that's exactly where the secret lies. These stories keep us invested because they feel real enough to hold on to. Maybe not in every case, but people are always searching for something they can relate to, something that reflects their own experiences. And that's where passionate romance stories shine. Every interaction between the characters delivers a small burst of excitement. Your heart starts racing as you wonder what will happen next. Will the protagonist win her heart? Will they end up together? For a moment, it almost feels like you're a child again, creating stories with toys and imagining your own little world. Yet somehow, that forgotten feeling returns and awakens something inside you.
There's no distance. I've never been this close to someone before. In my life. Boundaries don't apply to us. And I used to be terrified of that.
Life isn't always simple. It's a complex web of responsibilities, expectations, and pressures that can suddenly land on a single pair of shoulders. Sometimes it becomes overwhelming, and sometimes you just want to disappear for a while and retreat into your own dreams. But that's where romance comes in. Romance stories can become a refuge from reality, a place to rest. There are no world-ending battles, no endless adventures across distant lands, none of the chaos that many people are trying to escape from in their everyday lives. And because of that, they offer something rare, which is peace. So no, romance anime aren't as simple as they might seem. But there is another question I've been thinking about. Why does romance make us feel so much in the first place? After all, we know that these characters aren't real. We know that in a few hours the story will end and the credits will roll and we'll go back to our daily lives. So why do we still care? Why do we celebrate their victories, feel their heartbreaks, and hope that everything works out for them in the end? Maybe it's because romance was never really about the characters on the screen. Maybe it has always been about us, about our hopes, our dreams, the relationships that could have happened, the words we never said, the moments that quietly slipped away. And when we watch these stories, we don't just see characters, we see pieces of ourselves. And perhaps that's why even the simplest love story can leave a deeper mark on our hearts than the grandest adventure or the most spectacular battle. Did you know that the word romance has existed for centuries? Back in 12th and 13th centuries in Europe, knightly tales written in Romance languages were called romance or romance. The modern emotional and philosophical meaning of romance developed much later, around the 19th century. Interestingly, Japanese romance often carries a concept known as mona no aveya. It is difficult to translate directly, but it roughly means the bittersweet beauty of things that won't last forever. And that brings me to the point I've been building toward this entire time. These short love stories are beautiful precisely because they are short. Before the viewer has enough time to fully settle into the story. It's already pulling them forward the next episode. They binge watch it, unable to stop themselves from clicking one more episode. And perhaps that is one of the genre's greatest strengths. So I think it's time to wrap things up. Romance, especially the kind we've talked about today, quietly asks us a question. If everything in this world is temporary, why does that make love less valuable? Or even more valuable? That's why I treasure this genre. Because its beauty is temporary, and that's exactly what makes it beautiful.